100 meters away. Hello again. Rightio. Heading down to my mate's farm again, trying to get a deer or a pig this time, because every time I've come down here lately we've ended up just cleaning up goats for dog tucker, because there's so many of them around. But the plan is to try and get a deer or a pig this time, and yeah, like I said, I've been down here a few times lately, and I've tried to make videos every time, but you just can't. This type of goat shooting you do here is running and gunning. You basically drive around till you see them, chasing down the four-wheeler or something silly, and then run through the bush and clearings and just mowing them down as you go. You can't set up cameras, and you can put a GoPro on your head, but all you get is this. So yeah, it's the reality of trying to make hunting videos, and then yeah, put so much time and effort in it, because it costs me hundreds and hundreds of dollars every time I come down here with diesel and fuel and food and beverages. So yeah, and don't get me wrong, I love it, and I'll never change it. I'll never stop coming down here as long as I'm welcome. But yeah, it's the downside to trying to make videos where it's unproductive, because all you end up doing is just showing a pile of dead goats at the end, and yeah. But so I'll try and get a little bit more footage today, even if I end up going up for a solo goat mesh, I'll try and do it, try and stalk them and just pop them off one at a time, do some filming. But initially I want to try and target a pig or a deer, because he's having issues with pigs down here, and there's always deer down here, but they're quite elusive, and well, they're better at hiding than I am at hunting. So one day I'll trip over one and tip it over. But that's the plan at the moment. And yeah, well, on the way down here I would have seen around 150 goats on the sides of the roads and native blocks and paddocks, and around 100 turkeys. They're both pests. So, but you just can't, you're not allowed to shoot off the road, otherwise you would. But so I'll keep you informed. I'll go and change into my hunting DUIs and formulate some kind of plan, and then you'll know when I know, and we'll take it from there. Right, several hours has passed since I've got to my mate's house and had a bit of a debriefing, took some crap, had a catch up. Probably should have left about 2 hours ago. It's now 3:30 in the afternoon, so I've got 2 or 3 hours of light left, and heading up there somewhere, which is probably about a K and a half. And the plan is he's giving me directions to go up around these tracks to a few gateways, go up, look at that clearing, and there's a couple big clearings up this way, and it comes all the way back around and loops back down to about a K up the road. I don't know if I can get it done in a couple of hours, but I'll see. And you see there's pigs and deer up here, and yeah, so we'll have a look tonight. If nothing, probably tomorrow, and then if nothing tomorrow, we'll sack some goats from. But so what I've chosen, I've taken the big girl, taken the sour. Now, folders in, mags in, no bullets up the spout, and the 357 is sitting up there with a empty breech, so can't take the bolt out, so the bolt's clean, there's nothing in the action, and there's 9 up the spout in that. we're up on a private block. There's no access and no way for anyone to see it. That's why I don't mind leaving it for half an hour, 2 hours, because can't just probably there's no one around for fucking hundreds of miles, so that's okay. So yeah, and he said to be quiet and sneak up here because they could be anywhere in the bush, because it's all bush from here to there. That's what I'm going to do. I'm carrying way too much gear. I've got my new bino rig, so I'm giving that a go, and a backpack, which I probably shouldn't take, but I do things the hard way. That's what I do. And sporting hunting gear from head to toe now, basically. No, I'm not sponsored. I'd like to be, but so yeah, just gonna head up there and have a look. All right. There'll be a couple of updates, but I'll be whispering from here up because you guys are so lucky. Oh, any other day. They're only about 35 metres away. And there's a hare behind them as well. I don't know if you got that in the top left of the screen next to the paradise duck. Probably about 1.5 km up this track, which is way steeper than I thought. Now I've got these two gates. And I've already forgotten the instructions already. It said to straight through or turn left. I think he said straight through, so what could go wrong? I get lost her. Well, it reminds me I should turn my GPS on in case it gets dark. Alright. One there. One just run up there. One just run over there. As I walked over, there was one sitting there next to a pheasant. Oh, these guys have no idea how lucky they are. Do I want to shoot a stag? Check this out. He's not very far away. That looks like a long way, but it's only 100 metres. Alright, done and dusted through the chest. Got him right in the heart. He was out cold within about 6 seconds. I I waited and waited and waited when he presented himself till he was basically nearly front on, so I could put it between his chest, so I go through the lungs but try and miss all the guts. So I'm for meat, and I didn't want to put it through the shoulders and waste half the animal. So he stepped over, he's down on the ground about 100 meters away. So I'm going to walk down the track and grab my side by side and come and get him. And I'll take my gun with me, and now I'll tip over the damn goats. I've seen if I see them on the way down. Alright, back at the side by side, affectionately named Killer Bee gun. Yeah, no bullets in the breech. Empty. Right. Go back up and first of all I'm going to zip up to the top, poke my head over the top of the next ridge and see if there's any pigs in there still. And I doubt I'll have to hear me coming, but it's not that far away from getting dark, so I thought I'd come down and get this thing first, then make my way up there, and if I can see something else, have a go and see what I live. And I seem to be short a GPS unit at the moment. Can't remember if I left it in the ute, or it's in here somewhere, or I've dropped it. I didn't see it on the way back down the hill. Should really go through my bag properly and have a bit of look, but alright. Whew, that's the plan. Hey, drop. Two or three big sows, about 6 or 7 piglets. I think they're on a beeline because they heard my side by side coming, and they're about a K away. There's no way I'm going to run them down. Yeah, they're already heading for the skyline. There. Right. Alright, you go. Yeah, I know, I wear gloves. I thoroughly recommend it. That's all, she's all gutted. I'm taking the liver and the heart with me for the dogs. All I've done is gutted. The rest, the whole animal's complete. Skin on, legs on, head on, everything. I'll zip it down to the bro's place and see what he reckons. I know his old man's got a chiller just up the road. We just leave it in the ute because it's going to be cold. Because I've got a hard lid, so it can be sealed up. Deal with it tomorrow or see what happens. Maybe throw some ice in its cavity to keep everything super cold. It was probably gutted within half an hour. I've been shot to get all the heat out of it. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And yeah, it looks like I'm on a fucking game farm. It's a farm. These are wild deer. There's hundreds of acres of bush in this, and I was gonna be bush stalking, I thought, today, but seen them set out feeding on the pasture. So oh, and by the way, these are my home loads too. I only developed this load last week. Took it to the range, tested it. The basic data is it's ADI 2208, 46 grains, 308 obviously, and 150 grain SST Hornady tips, ballistic tips on it. And I put it straight through the chest cavity on an angle. And it actually looks like it came out through the top of its neck. Or part of it did anyway. But she was all over. Like when I gutted it, I pulled it out and the heart almost came out by itself. It went straight through the top of the arteries and just almost completely severed the heart off. took the top of the lungs and the heart out. So this thing was dead for seconds. It was dead before it hit the ground. And clean ethical kill is, to me, is the only way. I watched this thing for half an hour and I had it in the crosshairs for 10 minutes of that, just waiting for the perfect shot, because I don't want to waste any meat. I'm not a trophy hunter, but since this has got a head on it, I was like, well, there's no point ruining the antlers, the average set. But yeah, job well done. I just got to have a bit of a quick wash up and head out. A couple of k's up a track and 10 k's up a road, if that. So yeah, I'm about a half an hour trip back, and cold, so luckily I've got a jersey because its temperature is dropping rapidly. And it doesn't look dark, but I've got every light exposure thing adjusted onto this thing to make it look bright, but it's not. I think we're nearly 6 o'clock, and it's pitch black at about 10 past, but yeah, it's holding light pretty well out here. Oh man, stoked, absolutely stoked. Like I said, would have preferred it was a hind, but beggars can't be choosers, and I've been down this place about a dozen times now. Oh, I'd love to thank some sponsors, but I don't have any except me. Oh, but yeah, no, great effort and great result for my first day. I was only out an hour and a half, so yeah, wicked. I want to carry on. I really would love to get one of those pigs, and if this deer wasn't here, I would have gone around this gully up the gut, and I probably would have seen those other pigs. But that opportunity didn't present itself, so all over Red Rover for Rudolph here. Right, obviously you can tell I'm buzzing. I'm pretty stoked. Yeah. I don't know how many hundreds of dollars worth of venison I have to offset the, let's just say, high hundreds of dollars worth of guns. Yeah, cool as. I'll talk about it probably tomorrow. I've got to go back and have a couple of celebratory beverages and a debrief, and chirp. Right, morning. Depending on what order of things I put in my video, I've just broken down that deer, and now I was just going to bounce home and get all this stuff sorted, but I'm going to gear up, jump on the bike and head up into the bush where I seen all those pigs yesterday coming from the other side, and see if I can catch one of these pigs. And if so, yeah, farmer might be coming with me. He's down feeding out, so I'm going to load up my gear up, guns and bags and crap, and might pick him up or tell him where I'm going, and he might follow me or jump in. And it's quite comical. I'm dressed head to toe in brand name hunting gear. He's in the red bands and black jeans and a swan dry because he's a farmer. It's pretty funny. I almost look like an idiot to him. Look like I come from a big city hunter. And so yeah, I've got yesterday's gear on. It's a bit grubby, so there's no point getting all my clothes covered in blood and shit. So I'm gonna go and load the bike up and head down the road. I don't actually know where he is, so I'll try and find him. But that's the plan at the moment, and we'll make it up as I go from there. Well, as you can see, packed up and headed home. Man, there was a couple of days of just pure awesomeness. As far as hunting goes, that deer does not get any easier. Put about a K and a half into walking up a track and shot it, and walked back down the track, jumped on my side by side and drove to it. It was fantastic. I just gutted it and threw it on the bike, and yeah, took it back to my mate's place, hung it up on the tractor overnight, and processed it this morning. And then went for a quick blaze up in the bush again on the side by side by myself. Got it stuck severely. I had just as much fun getting that thing stuck and pulling it out as I did going for a hunt, to be honest. It was just fun. It was enjoyable. I knew I was going to get out, but actually I did not know that. But yeah, that was just so much fun. Didn't get a pig, which I probably just would have preferred to. If I had to walk past that deer, there was a mob of pigs I'm picking that were closer than I thought. But I didn't know they were there until afterwards, after I made all the noise and shot it and we got my side by side and came back, and they were gapping it. But I didn't know that. I would have probably preferred a wild pork than a Vinny, but never mind. And just really gave my mental health a well-earned and well-needed boost. So wicked. And catching up with a real cool guy, a mate, and his family is just neat people. So, you know, it's one of the things, you're keeping in touch with people and friends through the passion of hunting, which is good because I'm a shit hunter. And so, yeah, a good time had by all. And thanks for watching. Cheers. This would be so much easier if I knew what I was doing. Right, just cut me up a deer and having me a pretty damn good breakfast.